We've got some updates about the recording of Steve Sarowitz, so let's get into it. I want to start off by saying not all heroes wear capes, but in this story, Clark is the hero. While we were waiting for the audio to hit the docket, Clark took matters into his own hands and went to the court to request it himself. The public pressure forced Lyman to respond, and he made a statement saying, "You guys need to decide how to get this public. Figure it out." And they figured it out. In a joint statement, the parties stated they would provide the clerk's office with copies of a physical CD format of the audio file. Here's the thing. They mentioned that there was limited public reach for this. Be for real. You know, all eyes are on this case. Clark is a real one for these updates. He stated that he's already gone to the court to reach out for the CD, but apparently they still don't have it. So we've got to wait for them to have it. Clark is going to be the MVP that gets it, lets us know what's on the CD. I decided to go back down memory lane that way to jog our memory on what could be on this audio file. And it looks like Blake has two different witnesses. One is someone that was at the It Ends With Us premiere, and one is Claire. That has nothing to do with It Ends With Us. So the premiere witness stated that Steve mentioned to them at the premiere that he's ready to spend $100 million to, protect the studio. Now, they state later in August 2024, Mr. Sarowitz confessed to another witness, an individual who's working with Wayfair on an unrelated project, that if Miss Lively or Mr. Reynolds ever cross the line, ever, then I will go after them. Quote, "I will protect the studio like Israel protected itself from Hamas." And they go on. The recording has statements from Steve stating like, "I'm going to spend a lot of money to make sure the studio is protected and make it worth their while to go after the studio." This sounds like a conversation that Claire tried to initiate to happen. That way she could get whatever she needed on this recording. That's how it comes across. Because keep in mind, the scenes for Claire's movie were filmed in 2021. And on top of that, Claire's movie was released in September, so the very following month after the recording. Funny thing about that release date is coincidentally the exact same day that the Van Zandt complaint was filed. It's almost like it was orchestrated. Doesn't it seem planned? Doesn't it seem like she needed her movie to be released before anyone from Justin's team found out that she's been working with Blake for however long to sabotage it? I don't think Justin would be really inclined to release a movie after he literally made your dreams come true and you backstabbed him, decided for whatever reason to work with Blake, make a recording of Steve without his consent, and then give it to Blake. Let's think about it. Why would Claire be recording Steve and talking about It Ends With Us during August? The CRD complaint wasn't filed. Nobody knew that anything that was going on with Justin and Blake. It was all behind the scenes, so everyone with the contract knew, but everyone was staying quiet. So how did Claire, someone that had nothing to do with It Ends With Us, end up recording Steve? Unless it was planned. Justin's team isn't fighting releasing this recording, so whatever is on it can't be that damning. But if there is, that quote that Blake is, throwing around about him protecting the studio like Israel, then I just want to say it's his baby. Like, this is something that he's been working on, building, and trying to make into a passion project. Anyone would say that about anything. Literally ask your friend Taylor. What did she do for her music? What did she do to get her music back? Anything. She would take down anyone to get her music back. No matter how you look at it, it's not looking good for Claire because, for one, she recorded without consent in possibly a two-party state. Now, even if you exclude that, she has the recording. That's fine. But she does not have the right to give that recording away, even if she's in a one-party state. She can't just sell this recording or give it to them because, again, it all screams malicious intent, because why is Claire, someone that is working on her own first film, talking to Steve about It Ends With Us? But then in her claim, she stated that she didn't know what the topic of the meeting was, so she recorded out of fear that he was going to be saying something about her not wanting Justin part of the PR for the movie release. He was probably going to be asking you questions as like, why do you even know about the drama going on with It Ends With Us? Because who told you? We've got contracts, we've got NDAs. What's going on? Even if she was scared, she could have brought HR or a third-party witness just to back her up. So I don't see this really working out for Claire in any way. And I also don't see it working out for Blake because, again, it just shows a pattern of her trying to get out of the legal system and do things her way. Because As a Nepo baby, she's never been told no, and she thinks she can just get away with everything. And rules don't apply. They apply for everyone except for her. Everyone say a huge thank you to Clark for getting the recording for us. And as always, this is all alleged, so take it with a grain of salt and follow me for more.